Good evening and welcome along to SAFC Fan TV and another edition of Thursday Night Live. Woo! And with us tonight, we have CONRAD Lee, we have the Mad Mistake, we've got Dino, Jacob Kirkbride, Dan Seth, and of course, Michael Bowers on the panel tonight. Don't forget, we are still after subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And make sure, if you don't mind, to hit the like button, give us a thumbs up, and we'll try and get as many likes as we can.
Get it wrong, thumbs up.
We are also available in the live chat. So if you want to join us and ask us anything in there, or you've got a comment you would like us to discuss, stick it down there and we'll do our best to try and include you. Already, Matthew Lead, hello to you. Clayton Edwards, Mick Griffiths, all on the chat already. So we're going to kick off. We like to start with the previous match, which has gone before us. Tuesday night away at Portman Road, Ipswich Town 0. Sunderland 1. What a win. Conrad, what do you reckon?
It's another 3 points. And is that the first time we won 2 games in a row since, well, I don't even remember.
1894.
Yeah, feels like that long on there. I mean, I think me and Dino were saying the other night, like, it was that thing of they went down to 10 men so early that it was always going to be a harder one to sort of try and break them down and just put the pressure almost on us to be like, well, you have to win it now. There's that long in the game, you have to win it. But we did again what needed to be done. We got the win and another 3 points in the bag, and hopefully we same again against Gillingham. Yeah,
cracking win. On the chat, we're trying to include everybody. Keisha Cameron Jude, friend of the show, hello to you. And also Matthew Lead, what's on your face, Philly? Don't you like it? I thought I'd grow it, you know what I mean? Bit of hair, I can't grow any hair on my head. So Jack Dodds, what's the bum fluff, Phil? Well, if you don't like it, I can always go and have a shave. Mad Mistake, 1-0 win away at Ipswich. How good is that?
Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Sounds pretty good. But when you're playing against 10 men for 86 minutes, you shouldn't make it as hard as it was, to be fair. I mean, I know Ipswich did really well, defended really well, and actually broke through our defence a couple of times. So it could have been a different story if they'd sneak one of those in. But yeah, I mean, we find it hard to break teams down. And it's even harder when you got 10 players playing for each other at the back, defending. We're too slow on the build-up. The only time we showed a bit of speed, a bit of pace, a bit of quick passing, we broke down the defence and we scored a goal. It's not rocket science. Apart from that, we pass it backwards, we pass it sideways, pass it backwards, pass it sideways, 1 step, 2 step. I'm sure there's a little dance there or a song there somewhere.
Strictly.
Once they get used to, go with pace, like Lee Johnson said he wants to do. Go for the jugular leg, get players in the box as soon as possible. We'll score more goals. It's a matter of time. But Charlie WYKE scored 7 and 7. What else can you say? The guy is on fire. One touch, Charlie WYKE. Put it to his feet. Put it on his head. He'll score a goal. Don't make the bloke have to take 2 or 3 touches because someone had nicked it off his feet. But apart from that, fabulous. Good 3 points. Again, a poor performance. I have to say, it's a theme now. It's a running theme. I'm going to have to change my way of thinking now. I think the days of good performances have gone for this season. I'm very happy to play poor all season now and take 3 points every game. It won't happen, though.
Right, fair dues. We'll come on to Charlie WYKE a little bit later on. On the chat, try and include everybody. Joseph Billingsley, Sunderland are going to win the league. There you go.
Like the optimism.
Lauren Kenny, hello to you as well, watching. Stephen McBride, up by Easter Philly. Tony Lee, my mate Tony Lee, is that facial hair real? Adam French, porn star. I better take it off on that because there you go. Is that better for you? Yeah, Tony Lee, my mate. I delivered a parcel to him the other day, and we had a good catch up. And then I spoke to him for 15 minutes, and then I got rung off the boss. Of course, I'm out with Karen, and Karen's my boss. She's always telling us what to do. So I got wrong for that, Tony, but good catch up anyway. Jacob, 1-0 away from home, Ipswich Town, who, you know, are one of the better teams in the league. How happy were you with that?
I was buzzing, absolutely buzzing. I thought after the red card that they picked up after 10 minutes, I thought, like Dino made a comment on the live stream saying you get nervous when the opposition go down to 10 men so early on because you'll find it really hard to break them down. But then again, we did that. Brilliant cross from Max Power, Charlie WYKE with the goal. He's a man on fire at the moment. After that, didn't really see much of Charlie WYKE during the game. But then again, what more do you want in a striker as long as he puts it in? Overall, to be honest, I thought we looked better in the half that we didn't even score in on Tuesday night. I thought second half, he took Winchester off, who was on a booking, and brought Embleton on. And I thought him on the right-hand side actually did really, really well. I thought the link-up play between him and the midfield looked good. And there was a moment where he could have had a goal himself, where we worked the ball along the deck and worked our way into the box. And he was running towards the goalkeeper, and he hit it straight at, but that was right at full time. But yeah, just a few things to work on. I think we need to stop playing these really poor balls over the top from the fullbacks. I think if we get into good areas to cross it, we need to do that. But I think when we're in our own half, we need to just keep the ball more. Max Power was very poor with that on Tuesday, but 3 points is 3 points, mate. Honestly, rolled on Saturday against Gillingham. Ipswich, you have to remember it would have been a completely different team for them if they had 11 men on the pitch for the rest of the game. But you can't ask anything more from the boys. Playing against sides who are down to 10 men now, it's about what you do as a team to try and break it down. And we did. Brilliant balling from Power. WYKE, superb finish. So 1-0. How are the lads? Keep the faith roll on Saturday.
Funny you say about second half. I thought I was quite nervy second half watching that. But Jack Dodd says, does it really matter if it's a poor performance? We're getting points on the board. And Acacia Cameron Jude says she agrees with Jack. 2 wins and 2 clean sheets in a row also, which is a good point. Ken Walton, good evening, lads. Great show. Bude, Mackham, down in Bude. I'm saying down in Bude. I'm not fully aware where Bude is. Is it down southwest? I don't know. Anyway, Michael Bowers, 1-0 away at Ipswich Town. We said it would be the dodgy one. We've come away with 3 points. What do you think?
It is a big win. Ultimately, yes, Ipswich were down to 10 men, but you can only beat what's put in front of you. It's not our fault that Kane and Jackson, by the way, absolute horror tackle, which, you know, was justifiably sent off. Even Paul Lambert admitted it. Even before the game, I was kind of anxious because Ipswich have been on a rotten run of form. They'd failed to beat any of the top 8, I'm going to say, top 10 teams in the league. So you just know, I know Dino sounds on Tuesday stats are irrelevant, but to me, these stats aren't, because they always end up coming up to bite Sunderland. I was just waiting for Sunderland to take Ipswich lightly in that regard. Not to mention Paul Lambert is under increasing pressure there, and the atmosphere there is pretty toxic at the very least. So 10 men or no 10 men, we did take advantage of that. I am with Mad Mistake that I would have liked to have seen us use the man advantage a bit more than we did. Well, even you said yourself, you were nervous second half. I was nervous second half, but that's always because Sunderland always tried their best to make it as nervy as possible for you. I would have liked to have seen a more comfortable win. I thought first half, it took us a while after the red card for me to get going properly. But to be fair, the goal itself, the cross from Power, I think deserves just as much credit as the finish from WYKE. I think both components in the goal were excellent. The build-up play to the goal was pretty good. And the second half, although I did think we invited, Ipswich did get a couple of chances, it came from our own mistakes, where we were just trying to be too fancy with the ball, gave it away, and very nearly got punished for it. But thankfully, we didn't in the end. Got the win, back-to-back wins, back-to-back clean sheets, as you say. Now, in the immediate future, we've got to look to improve our home form, which is where, if we want to have a chance of going up, is where we need to improve most of all. And also being unbeaten away from home is pretty impressive at this point as well.
Yeah, halfway through the season, unbeaten away, pretty good. Mark Don on the chat says, Mad Mistake, spot on, points before performance. Let's get out of this league, keep the faith. We got to give a shout out to Charlie at One Rovers Vlogs, the Bristol Rovers fan, watching the show as well. So Dino, 3 points away at home at Ipswich. If anybody can put it down on it, you're the man. Then.
You know what? I haven't got really anything bad to really say.
Whoa!
I said,
whoa. Did I hear that correctly?
I said on the match review, it was only little nitty pick things what bothered us. But on a whole, I thought we were quite consistent in the first and second half performance. I didn't think we played really well, but I don't think we played really bad. When they went down to 10 men, it puts a lot of pressure on the team because then you're expected to go and score and break the team down, and we do struggle to do that. And when people say it's a man advantage, is it really because they lost a striker? It just means in attack they're at a disadvantage, in defence they're exactly the same. It's 2 banks of 4. Do you know what I mean? Because the strikers still stay up the pitch. So is it really an advantage? Not. It's only a disadvantage for them when they go forward, not when they're defending, in my opinion. I thought the referee, because I've seen referees bottle sending players off, especially that early in the game. He could have easily give a yellow. Referees in this league, though, Philly, I mean, referees, they do bottle it a lot. And he got the decision spot on. No doubt about it. It was a certain sending off. Charlie WYKE took his goal really well. The only nitpicky thing I had to say was decision making by the players was awful. We give the ball away like in bad positions because Max Power tried to come out, like run it out of defence. He went to play in the middle, he played it straight at their player. And there was just other times where Josh Scown would get the ball instead of playing an easy pass. He'd try and switch it and he'd hit the ball out of play. That's the only thing I hated. Just decision making on the ball needs to be a lot better. But overall, good 3 points. It was a better performance. It's still not great, but it's better than what I've seen. And positive signs for me, Luke O'Nien looks like he's going to be played further forward because when he came on, we actually kept the ball on the deck. He looked comfortable on the ball. He gave us something different. I thought when he came on, I know he only had 5 minutes, but I've seen a lot in that 5 minutes, what shows me he should be playing further up the pitch.
Well, I think we've said this for a while about Luke O'Nien, haven't we? When he's back fit, get him, into the midfield there. I think I get what you're saying about the referees bottling and stuff like that, and especially in this league. I think credit goes to the ref in the fact that he's seen it and he had no other option. I mean, credit that he's actually seen the foul because it was dreadful. Charlie at One Rovers Vlog says the challenge was disgraceful, which it was, Dino.
I'm not just saying that because I'm a Sunderland fan, because obviously even when people, it's not a red card, we all go, that's a red card. I'm not being biased. That was 100% red card. I mean, if one of our players done that, I'd say 100% a red card. I'm not being biased just because it was their player getting sent off. If it was our player, I'd say it was a deserved red card, and it 100% was.
Yeah,
Paul Lamb said it himself. So
yeah, I totally agree. Just for your knowledge, Bude is down in Cornwall, Southwest. I didn't want to say Cornwall in case I looked stupid, but there you go. So should we have done better? Because we're down, they were down to 10 men, and I know some teams play better with 10 men. But should we have done better? Mad mistake?
Passing wise, yes. I think our passing's terrible at times. I mean, I don't know what goes on in the training pitch, but some of our players just kind of pass the ball. And those like Jacob was saying, we've been doing this all season. We were hoofing the ball at one point, and it's always the fullbacks who like to try and do these brilliant passes down there, over the top, down the left-hand side. They never come off. They always go out to play. Bailey Wright, Willis, didn't pass the ball too long. Just give the ball simple to the midfielders, play it with pace through the middle, stop hoofing the ball down the wings. It's ridiculous kind of passing. And just like simple short passing, like scouting. And I didn't particularly enjoy seeing Max Power right back on. I thought he didn't have a great game. The one good thing he did was the pass to Charlie WYKE, fair enough. But some point in the game, you've got to do something good, haven't you? But I mean, the positives out of it, we've only lost 4 games, the best record in the league. We've only let in, I think it is, I'm not sure, we've let in the least amount of goals 17 in the league as well. Yes, we've got the best defence in the league, and we've obviously lost the least goals, least matches. We've got Luke O'Nien coming back. We've got Gooch, who came on, who looked quite good when he come on. And also Denver Hume should be back shortly. So, Lee Johnston's got a bit of a conundrum. It's a good conundrum to have.
So basically, what you're saying there leads me to think that the top two is definitely on again.
Well, definitely the playoffs. I'm not even going to think about the top two, because whenever I start getting excited, Sunderland do what Sunderland do best and let me down. So I'm going to concentrate on the playoffs, and we'll let the top two look after themselves.
Yeah, right. I thought we should have, if we'd have run at them more and more through balls and stretched them, with them having one less man, I thought that would have been better. And we just didn't seem to do that. We're
too slow.
Yeah,
too slow.
Well,
too negative.
Right. Okay then. What I want to do on social media this week, I saw somebody having a go at us about Charlie WYKE. This is us as the channel and us representatives of the channel, because there's no doubting that at the start of the season, he did get stick from us on here.
Deservedly so.
And
for 2 years of awfulness.
and on social media, I saw these the people from SAFC Fan TV should come out and all hands up and say they were wrong and all that. But have we not? We've already done that, haven't we? We've all now given credit to Charlie WYKE. I mean, I'll hold my hands up. I totally got it wrong. I wasn't a big fan. I thought he was useless, and he's banging them in, and he's bang on form. And I'd have him straight in the team anytime now. So, Dino, what do you reckon? Are you the same?
Yeah, he's having a good season, but I can't forget the first 2 years. I cannot. I rate a player's time. I rate a player on his time. He's been here. He's been here 3 years. He's had one good season. I mean, I'm not being funny. Like he's having a great season. I'll give him all the praise in the world. But the first 2 seasons were shit. It's as simple as that. And yeah, I'm wrong about him this season. But overall, as a player, is he championship level? 100% not. He's all right at this level at the minute. But once he stops losing form, then what people gonna say when he hasn't scored in the next 4 or 5, when he goes on a non-scoring streak of like 4 or 5 games? What are people going to say?
But
it's because he's banging them in. Everyone's like, "Oh, you're wrong about him. You're wrong." Every player hits form, and when he's out of form and he's not getting the chances and he's not making chances and he's missing sitters like Will Grigg was, then what people are going to say? He's on a good run. I'll give him credit where credit is due, but I can't forget the last 2 years he was here.
Yeah, but you say he's not championship quality. That's irrelevant. We're not in the championship, and if we get promoted, I think there might be 1-2 players in this team that you maybe keep. Go on.
Well, he was probably our main. Was he our main striker last season? Probably played the most up front last season.
He easily played the most last season. Yeah.
Where was his goals last season to get promoted?
All right. Well, if you don't want to give him any credit, then fair enough.
I've given credit. I've given credit. I said at the start of the season he wouldn't get 10 goals. He's got 15 all this season. I give him all the credit in the world. He's playing great. He's scoring goals. Well done to the bloke. But the last 2 seasons were shit. He's having a good season.
But you still hate him. There you go.
No,
all right.
I just don't think he's amazing.
You're not just jumping on this bandwagon straight away just because he's had a bit of a good spell now. You're sitting there going, I'm being real. There was 2 years of awfulness, and now he's playing well. And I can appreciate he's playing well now, but that doesn't mean I have to suddenly go, those last 2 years didn't happen.
Right, exactly. Fair enough. Jacob, you're trying to get in there?
Yeah. With Charlie WYKE, the question isn't he out of contract at the end of the season anyway?
Yeah, I think they all are 3 year. I think it was a 3 years.
Where I stand on Charlie WYKE at the moment is like he deserves credit where it's due because of the league we're in. He's proved us all wrong. He can score the goals in the division we're in to get us out of the division. But is he the type of striker that we need to have long term if we're going to be ambitious? Definitely not. I don't think Charlie WYKE's championship quality. Then again, he could be offered a new deal and prove us all wrong. That's the thing to like all of our viewers. We want to be proved wrong. But then again, like what Dino said, he wasn't scoring the goals the first 2 seasons he was here. So he has every right to be criticised for it. But right now he's a man on fire, and he deserves all the praise he gets. You know, the main worry I have is if he gets injured, then we are absolutely screwed, honestly. I mean, I know Aidan O'Brien's improved the last few games, but his goal scoring at the minute is all that's what's keeping us going.
Right, okay, but Jacob, you'd still have him, you know, first striker on the team sheet, wouldn't you?
Yeah, for now. This because we're in League One. He's
we're on about now. Michael, hang on, before we do.
I'll wait.
Let's be fair. He's the first striker on the team sheet. Have you seen the other 2 strikers behind him? Danny Grimm and Will Grigg. It's not really much of a choice at the minute, is it? Really, let's be fair.
I know, but I think the guy has done an amazing job, and it just, you know, we got to go with what's now. But never mind, you're entitled to your opinion, Michael.
Well, yes, Danny Graham, Will Grigg have done awfully since coming here, but it doesn't mean that WYKE hasn't done well this season on its own. This season, the others who are right, I think that this season you can't criticise him too much because he's got 12 league goals or something. I know it's 15 in all competitions, but I think it's 12 in the league. But the fact is, I mean, I'll give him a bit of leeway for the first season that half of it he was injured. But even when he came back into the team, he didn't pull up any trees. And last season, I thought he was awful. Last season, I thought that, and I think I said it numerous times, and I believe that we were right to criticise Charlie White the first 2 seasons because, again, the first 2 years didn't happen. Oh, no, forget this. Forget the first 2 years. It's just this year he's been at Sunderland. If he was like this from the start of his Sunderland career to now, consistently, we wouldn't be criticising him. But the fact of the matter is, Charlie White, before this season, couldn't score unless it was right on the line or unless he somehow pulled off a screamer. His touch at times was awful. His physicality was non-existent. He was far too slow. And those criticisms were valid. Why is it all of a sudden that, you know, yes, okay, we've held our hands up. I think if they actually watched the show properly, they'll have seen we've held our hands up before this. So, yeah, I said it on Tuesday. He's proved me wrong, and I want to be proved wrong. Everybody wants to be proved wrong. But the last 2 seasons, there was a spell last season where Phil Parkinson was picking him constantly, and he wasn't doing anything to merit his place in the side. So, criticism before this season, fair enough. This season, done brilliantly. Can't deny it.
There's an argument that had he been like this from the start, so the first 2 seasons, and he'd been playing like he is this season, there's a big chance that he probably wouldn't have been with us because somebody would have come in and bought him anyway.
Or we'd have been in another league and we'd have fobbed him off.
All right, yeah. All right. Yeah, fair dues.
Yeah.
Just very quickly, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. A shout out to Leah Dell, who's just subscribed. So thank you for that. And don't forget, give us a thumbs up, hit the like button if you can. On social media, when I saw this comment about Charlie White, the mad mistake, you was actually, I don't know if you saw it yourself, you was actually singled out as one who gave him a lot of criticism. And he said the mad mistake and the lads on SAFC Fan TV. So your chance to respond.
I don't need to respond because this person watches my channel every single video and he knows fine well I've already congratulated the bloke plenty of times this season. He's just trying to get a bite out of everybody and he won't get a bite out of me. Okay, Baz. Right, anyway.
Oh, I can't believe you mentioned him. I wasn't even. No, I wasn't even going to mention him. I wasn't going to give him the pleasure of us mentioning him. And
first of all, Charlie White's could have been injured for the last 2 seasons on and off, so that could sort of play to his weaknesses because he's slow. He's lost a lot of pace. He is slow. If you don't play to Charlie White's strengths, he will look awful on the pitch. He cannot run with the ball. He loses the ball inside the penalty box when his back's to goal. He turns like a tank. He has his weaknesses. But is the team now starting to learn to play to Charlie White's strengths? And is Charlie White a late bloomer? Is he starting to play to his own strengths, know what his ability is, know what his weaknesses is, but he knows if he gets in that penalty box and the ball's fed to his feet and he gets the chance to shoot, he knows where the back of the goal is. And like I said, if I criticise any player throughout the season, I'm hoping 110% that they come back and prove me wrong because I want to see every single Sunderland player succeed at the club, regardless who they are, I don't have any agendas against anybody. I speak my mind. I say what I say. I say what I say. Simple as. And if somebody, say if Scowen comes out and performs fantastic over the next 10 games, never puts a pass wrong, I'll go, well, brilliant for Scowen. I will criticise and I will also give praise where it's due. And Charlie WYKE, end of the day, he is the first man on the team sheet because there's nobody out there on the Sunderland side who can put the ball in the back of the net.
Good man. Says what he sees. Excellent contestant.
Yeah.
Excellent contestant on
Put him in his
catchphrase. You would be. 136 people on the stream at the moment, and we've only got 28 likes. Come on, we need at least 100 likes before the end. So if you're watching, it'll take you a second to hit that thumbs up button. Give us some likes, and don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. If you have subscribed, then tell a friend to do so. Right then, Will Grigg apparently off to Shrewsbury Town, and if he does go, we actually play Shrewsbury Town in a couple of weeks' time. So I assume if he goes on loan, he won't be allowed to play for them. So Will Grigg out, and Ross from Ross coming in. Ross Stewart from Ross County. Anybody know anything about him? You know, Scottish strikers. And
there was a lad on Instagram talking to me about him last night. I don't know a lot about him because I had to ask, but I think he's got like 2 goals in 19 games.
Oh, excellent!
Is it just me who thinks if you put Will Grigg in for 19 games, he would probably get 2? If you gave him a consistent run of 19 games, he would probably scrape 2. He got 5 in his first few months with us, so why not? But it just seems like that sort of scraping of the barrel thing again for me. Just he might again. I hope they prove me wrong, but it just looks like we're just signing him because he's there more than he'll fit and do as well.
I mean, when they said Ross County, I had a quick look because I thought Ross County, they must be sort of Scottish second division or something or whatever, but they're actually in the Scottish Premier, aren't they? Am I right?
Just
good.
Yeah.
So that's lessens the blow. But I did have a quick look at his record, and it's I think he's got about 6 goals, hasn't he? In this season or something like that. It's not
get 6 goals in Scotland, man. Come on.
It's not massive.
Oh, big probably could.
Yeah. Jacob, what do you think of Will Grigg to Shrewsbury and then Ross Stewart? I mean, there's even I saw somewhere today on social media, Ross Stewart was going to be $500,000. I mean, that seems a lot of money for, you know, in this division, and you know, to a
well, I mean,
no?
two decades ago, we paid $500,000 for someone called Kevin Phillips, and the rest speaks itself. But then again, that was over 20 years ago. But yeah, the record's concerning. To be
Kevin
honest,
Phillips was good for his team before us.
Watford, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So then again, he could sign for us and like prove everyone wrong, like what Charlie WYKE is doing now. But going back onto Will Grigg, to be honest, it would not surprise me in the slightest if he goes to Shrewsbury Town and starts scoring. I'm kind of pleased it's only a loan deal in a way, because if it was a permanent one, he'd be allowed to play against us in 2 weeks' time, and you know what's going to happen there if that was the case, to be honest. But Will Grigg, I think we've simply just got to move on from it as quickly as we can. He was part of a failed regime at this club, and I could say the same for like maybe 1 or 2 other players that we may have in that squad. We need to ship out some of these failed regime players out as quickly as we can to move forward as a club, and to get Lee Johnson's ideas across when he's working with Christian Speakman in terms of the recruitment process and the new recruitment process that he wants to adopt for the future. But Will Grigg, wish him all the best. It's been a disaster here. I just hope you can prove people wrong signing for Shrewsbury Town. But Shrewsbury fans, I don't think you're getting a good striker on the cards, mate. I really don't.
Well, to be honest, you know, you don't just lose it. I mean, look at, I've always been a fan of Will Grigg, and the thing is you can link him to how it was with Charlie WYKE. You know, he could have next season he could have had a brilliant season. Terry, you're trying to get in?
Yeah, I want to know how pissed off you are at Will Grigg for being top goal scorer. You put a bet on top goal scorer for League One. Imagine if you picked Charlie WYKE, you'd have a good chance, wouldn't you?
Well, to be fair, my cash-in was all right, I mean, I got 15 pence.
Oh.
50,
Probably had bigger
15
odds if you
pence,
had on Charlie WYKE and all.
15 pence, about that much, isn't it?
No, you'll get about 2 chocolate Freddos.
Jeez, it's probably get one now.
I mean,
1990.
The chance that he's just, it's just not worked for him down here. On the chat, very quickly, Lauren Kenny says, Conrad, where is Storm?
So he keeps wandering in and out, but he is here.
All right. Mick Griffiths on about Ross Stewart. Google him. He's a donkey, apparently. Rabbit Man 39, who I believe is an Ipswich fan, says, like Ipswich, I don't know, maybe he's not an Ipswich fan, but like Ipswich, we sign donkeys, apparently. Michael Bowers, Will Grigg to Shrewsbury, Ross Stewart from Ross County. What do you reckon?
Well, with regard to Ross Stewart, all I'll say is I know people go on about the fact his stats aren't exactly great, but if you look at it, I'm actually just looking up Lewis Grabban, because the 6 months before he joined Sunderland, he scored 3 goals in 16 appearances, and yet with us he got 12 goals in 19. So stats beforehand, you look at it, Will Grigg on paper should have been a good signing, and that's why I think Shrewsbury on paper should be getting a good striker for this level. The problem is he hasn't done it for 2 years. It's only Sunderland really in this league that he hasn't seemed, or at least since his early career, that he hasn't performed to where he should have done. For Ross Stewart, if he's got a bit of pace, get him in, because what we go on about pace. So if he's got pace, I'm all for that. If you look at the wages, you look at the 500,000 thing. Paying transfer fees won't be a problem. It's wages. Hang on a minute. Anyway,
Michael?
Paying transfer fee shouldn't be a problem. It's wages with the salary cap that can hinder us. If you look at Will Grigg going to Shrewsbury on loan, that's probably the best we were going to get. We weren't going to be able to sell him at this point because of his wages.
Conrad, you're trying to get in there.
Just those Lewis Grabban stats. Was he at Bournemouth before he came to us?
Yes.
That was in the Premier League. Then when he came down to us, he was in the Championship. Easier opposition. Proof. Boom. Sorted. Let's move on.
No, hang on. I'm just saying.
Booyah!
It wasn't.
The stat with Reading was in the Championship as well. Now let's move on.
I didn't know he was at Reading.
Right, there you go. Anth Rivers says Ross Stewart is a goal poacher, just not a good one. Fair enough.
I was about to say with 2.
Yeah. Dino, Will Grigg to Shrewsbury, Ross Stewart from Ross County.
Well, I don't understand how Will Grigg can go out on loan, because wasn't he supposed to be injured for 9 months?
Well,
maybe we're just not telling them that.
It was supposed to be from 3 weeks to 9 months, so it didn't specify which. I think it was said it was only a few weeks.
So they're getting an unfit Will Grigg technically. So
we're still probably going to be playing a bit of his wages though. They won't be able to do it all.
Yeah,
so we'll
be paying some of that, man. 100%. We'll be paying most of that, because Shrewsbury won't have the money to pay his wages. But good luck to him. I mean, we tried him. It failed. We bought him because of his stats in this league.
No, sorry. No, we didn't buy him for the stats. We bought him for the song. Will Grigg's on fire.
Yeah, he's probably
£4 million for a song.
Whatever we bought him for, we got none of it.
Yeah. Go on, Dino. Sorry.
The thing is, I'm sure I've only got to sing that song like 3 times. Because I'm sure he scored once and we didn't even sing it because he wasn't on fire because he scored a pen. But good luck to the bloke. I mean, he tried his best. Well, people say he didn't try. I think I just don't think we played to his strengths. And when we did, to be fair, this season when we've given him the chance, I mean, he missed one on the line, for God's sake. I mean, that was when I was officially done with him. Good luck. I hope he scores loads of goals for Shrewsbury and gets his confidence back, because I don't wish him bad. And for Ross Stewart, I mean, it's a bit shocked. Like everyone says, I'm the Doominator and all that, but all yous aren't even giving him a chance. I haven't even signed him. I mean, yeah, some players just don't suit certain teams or certain leagues. I mean, he might come to us and start banging them in. You just don't know. You've got to give the bloke a chance. I mean, he's got to be better than Danny Graham and Will Grigg. Yeah, he hasn't performed for Ross County, but how do we know he's not getting the chances for Ross County? Maybe they're not supplying him, and when he jumps to us, he's going to be down a standard, so he might stand out. You just don't know, but I don't see why everyone's like shitting on the bloke. We haven't even signed him, and no one even knows what he's about. They're just assuming. So give the bloke a chance, for God's sake.
Right, Terry, you're trying to get in there.
Yeah, I'm sure I sang that Will Griggs on fire about 4 times in the week, Chiefs, and DJ kept on playing it.
Yay! Oh, he's a right knob at him in the Wheat Chief. Tough.
He put some bloody trousers on.
Yeah.
Those bloody legs make me.
Leave me legs out of this. Yeah, I suppose, I get what you're saying with Ross from Ross. Nobody knows that of him, but, one of you mentioned about Kevin Phillips. Nobody really knew Kevin Phillips, and there you go. Just very quickly on the chat, though. Paulo Abbott, he scored 5 to 6 goals this season, all but one a penalty, apparently. So, bad mistake then. Will Grigg to Shrewsbury, is that a good move on loan? And Ross from Ross.
Yeah, I'm quite pleased Will Grigg's going out on loan. I do hope Will Grigg, scores 25 goals for Shrewsbury and keeps them in League One, but it won't happen. The guy's, he's got an injury, so it might take him about, 3 or 4 or 5 weeks to get fit to play for
5
Shrewsbury.
years.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say Shrewsbury survive in League One. Good outfit, good fans, so I hope he does provide some goals for Shrewsbury. I hope he scores about 30 goals for Shrewsbury, and next season have a rich owner who can come in and buy him for 6 million. Would be great. Now, Ross from Ross apparently scored 28 goals in all competitions in about 81 matches, so it's not really that bad, to be fair, is it? And could he be any worse than Aidan O'Brien? I mean, I know Aidan O'Brien, everyone was saying, raving about his performance against Ipswich, but really? I mean, he's supposed to be a striker, isn't he?
Yeah,
I don't think Aidan O'Brien's done that well this season, to be honest. I mean, yeah, but we need someone who's going to score goals. I'd rather have Ross from Ross, who might score odd goal here and there, than have Aidan O'Brien, who scores no goals. That's just my opinion. But I'm like Dino. I'm in Dino's camp. 24-year-old, I was still improving at the age of 24. This guy could still be improving at the age of 24. He may not peak till he's 26. So in League One, I mean, he's going to be he's going to be decent League One standard, I would have thought. So yeah, give him a chance. He can't be any worse than Danny Graham, Will Grigg, and Aidan O'Brien for me. I'm sorry.
Well, I think Aidan O'Brien's been the best he's been since he's been with us over the last.
That means he must have been absolutely awful before then.
Well,
he was.
Well, I don't know. Michael, you're trying to get in there?
Just to provide a bit of context on Aidan O'Brien, I do agree I've been very disappointed with him this season. But let's not forget that apparently up until very recently he's been playing out in the wide positions rather than as a striker. Which, when I'm sure a couple of Millwall fans said when we signed him, forget playing him out wide, play him up front to get the best out of him.
But he's not a striker, though. He's not an out and out striker. He doesn't.
No, he's behind WYKE, isn't he?
Well, to be fair, we haven't given him a chance. A full-on chance out as up top with striker. It's only the last 2 or 3 games we've done it. So if he doesn't,
I don't think he really provides. Doesn't really provide assists for Charlie WYKE either, does he? So if that's the case, we could do with somebody in the box who maybe a bit younger, somebody with a bit of pace who could actually help Charlie WYKE out and score some goals. Because there's nobody on that side. Possibly Luke O'Neill might score 1 or 2 goals, mind, if he goes a bit further forward, because he has the ability to do that.
Well, if it's true, Will Grigg isn't injured or is at least fit to play. Should we not be looking at putting Will Grigg in with Charlie WYKE then and keeping him? I mean, everybody's slagging off.
I know what Dino thinks of it.
Everybody's slagging off. Aidan O'Brien and Danny Graham and what have you. Go on, Terry.
I'm just saying he's not better. Yeah, I'm just saying Aidan O'Brien hasn't sort of excited me this season.
I agree.
It doesn't mean he's going to be worse than Will Grigg, because Will Grigg doesn't put in the performance. At least Aidan O'Brien does try. Yeah, I can see he's trying. He's trying his best. He puts the shift in. It just hasn't clicked for him just yet. I want Aidan O'Brien to score some goals. I want to get some confidence. I want him to beat a man. But every time he tries to go past the man, he gets robbed of the ball.
Dino, you're trying to get in there?
That's what I was going to say. I mean, you're saying so we're not trying up front, but when we have put him up front, what does he do? I mean, you don't even see him. Like, you don't see him chasing down. You don't see him turning with the ball, trying to run at a player. I mean, he's to Aidan O'Brien. You see him on the ball. You know he's actually on the pitch. You can see what he's trying to do, but he's not doing it great. I mean, when Will Grigg plays, you forget he's on the pitch because he doesn't do much. But when Aidan O'Brien's on the pitch, you can see him closing down. You can see him giving 100%. But like Terry says, it's not working for him. So for me, O'Brien over Will Grigg every day.
Yeah.
Right. Okay then. Right. We've got on the chat.
Conrad wanted in, by the way.
Was that, sorry?
Conrad wanted in.
Oh, sorry, Conrad. I was trying to look at the chat. But go on, Conrad. Sorry, mate.
I was just saying, the way Aidan O'Brien's playing at the minute, it actually makes Charlie Wyke play better. Wyke isn't having to come deep for the ball with his back to goal. He can concentrate on just being in the penalty box facing goal when he gets it. O'Brien's doing all the dirty work that you would normally expect Charlie Wyke to be doing. And even then, he scored against Hull a couple of games back. He had a shot cleared off the line the other night. So he's getting in and about, but he's doing the sort of dirty work of Charlie Wyke, really.
Terry?
Fair point, Conrad. Fair point.
Oh, is that it?
That's it, yeah.
Well done.
Yes, it took me 6 months, lads. I got it.
Yes.
Conrad, just correcting you, scored against Port Vale, not Hull.
All right.
I'm sure he scored against Hull.
And also Plymouth. And Plymouth.
Plymouth, that's it. Wrong one.
Plymouth, sorry. Yeah.
Right.
I was nearly there.
We got a question came in on the live chat from David Hanby. Says, is anybody impressed with Sunderland short corners?
Oh,
and
Michael, you're a recent convert to hating short corners now as well.
Yeah, have you been ever? I mean, I've never been a fan of short corners, but Michael, have you been a fan of short corners?
I wouldn't say I was. I wouldn't say I was overjoyed with short corners. I just, until recently, I didn't understand why people hated them so much, because more times than not, our long ones don't do anything either. So. But yeah, after recently, I wouldn't go as far as say I hate short corners as much as everybody else does, but I can see why other people don't like them now. But I will reiterate, our long ones aren't much better.
You know, it's a complete waste. You get a corner, you're up there, and a chance to get the ball into their penalty area, and you gamble by taking a short corner before you still try and put it into the box anyway. Terry, you're trying to get in there.
The more times we put it into the box and it's just headed out wide. Headed clear.
They must work on these short corners in like sort of training, but then they don't realise there's going to be a defender with the man who's going to pass the ball to, which is stupid. Why pass the ball to a man who's being defended? You've got no chance to get the ball in the box then, have you? It's mad. Wow. I don't get those short corners. They're clearly not working to plan. So will they stick with them? Hopefully not.
I'll come to you just in a sec, Dino. There, I want to give a shout out to the casual observer on the chat. It looks like Storm is wrapped around Conrad's chin.
I thought you were going to say something else there.
Oh God!
Oh, Jacob!
It's not that kind of stream.
Jacob, that way, man. Just because of the sort of channels you watch. Dino, you want in there?
Yeah. What Michael was saying, like. Even though sometimes we put long ones in, nothing happens. But you're going to probably score. You're more likely to score when you put the ball into the box with like 5 defenders, like 3 defenders, your 2 centre backs up there, Charlie Wyke. You've got a chance to score. You never got a chance to score when you take a short one, because them regroup, them close you down, they get the ball back and then they counter you. So I'd rather them just put the ball in the box. Fine, maybe 5-6 times it'll get headed out, but you've got that chance where we might just get on the end of it, or it might hit their player and it's an own goal.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that now. I just thought that everyone was raging about short corners. Like, well, at that point, I was like, well, you might as well try it, because our long ones aren't doing anything. Most times we don't even beat the first man, which we need to work on ourselves. Delivery from set pieces.
Well, on that score, Michael, David Walker on the chat says corners have been crap all season, which is basically what you're saying there.
Yeah, they have.
Jacob, we'll go to you and then we'll come to you, Terry.
Yeah, personally, I don't agree with who's taking the corners, to be honest. I mean, the last few I've seen from McGeady have been absolutely shocking, and even Elliot Embleton has tried to chip in with a few, but Embleton on corners, it doesn't work for me. Normally he overhits them and it goes out on the other side. The best person for me at taking corners in our team it's Grant Ledbetter. I've never seen Grant Ledbetter put in a bad ball from a corner ever. Normally they find the head of someone and it goes into the net. I mean, when we first signed him, I think it was like 3 goals we scored from him taking corners in 2018-19. So, yeah, I think some of our decisions in terms of Josh Scowen's taken a few this season. They've been not great either. So, yeah, for me, Grant Ledbetter, he should be taking all of the corners for me. I think his delivery is absolutely brilliant on its day. And even there was
sorry. His delivery's pretty good, but not as good as my Hermes deliveries. And much better than Dino's Amazon deliveries. Yay!
Does your Hermes delivery?
You've been waiting all night for that.
Phil, does your Hermes deliveries not just look good because in comparison, because everyone else's is so rubbish?
Oh, wait, man. Give us a bit of credit, man.
Why would you call it Hermes? All I think of is herpes whenever you say Hermes. It's a horrible name.
Hermes is Hermes.
Delivering herpes to a neighbour near you.
They're a horrible company to work for as well, mate. They've got people like Phil on the books.
No. Hermes is the Greek messenger. Hermes is the Greek messenger, so that's why it gets the name, not because of the herpes. But so there you go. Sorry, Jacob, we interrupted you saying about Hermes deliveries are better than Amazon or something. Leadbitter's deliveries. Sorry. Who's he working for? Hermes. Yay!
DPD.
All I'll say is I'm pretty sure Grant Ledbetter's got a better delivery than you, Phil. That's all.
Man. It's a break.
Okay, let's move on.
He doesn't boot his parcels over the garden fence.
Did you not get a delivery of beer this week from Hermes?
Yeah, I did. I'll praise them on that front. It was actually because it wasn't delivered by you.
All right, no further questions. Thank you, Your Honour. Conrad, short corners.
Just don't do them.
Don't do them. Sorry, Terry, you was wanting in as well, weren't you?
2 points, quickly, short corners. The only time you should do a short corner when it's 96 minutes and you're winning 1-0, then keep it in the corner. For me, that's the only time you should do
and get George Dobson on to defend it in that corner.
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah,
that was his best moment.
He'll be doing it for Wimbledon.
Yeah.
I think Karen's told me we fill his deliveries quite well.
Well, Liam Younger says Philly's good for the first 5 minutes. I don't even make 5 minutes, mate.
That's what Karen says.
Have a word with our lass. 5 minutes. Flipping out, we're going to do it 3 times. Right, and swiftly moving along.
Yeah.
Right, well, what about how impressed? What are we on? Oh, we've still got time for this. How impressed are we so far? And I know it's early days, so we might be jumping the gun. How impressed with Carl Winchester are we so far? Jacob, do you want to start with that? Jacob Dansaf?
Yeah, he struggled a bit in the first bit of the game on Tuesday, but I thought he grew into the game well as the half went along. The one part where I was absolutely devastated with him was there was a ball that I think Grant Ledbetter played along the floor for him to run onto, which he just didn't have enough pace to get on the end of it. I think if someone like Diamond was in that position, he potentially might have caught up with it, rounded the keeper and put it in. But I think at the same time, he linked up with some of our wide players really well on Tuesday night. As the half went along, he struggled at first, but I think him in the build-up play to the goal we scored was brilliant. That little back heel he did towards Power to cross the ball for WYKE to score. I think over time, I think we'll get more of that from Winchester. I think he's just slowly at the moment trying to find his feet, considering that he hasn't played in this league before. And over time, I think he will get better the more consistent run of games he has for us. But so far, I don't understand the comments of people slagging him off on Tuesday. I thought he had a half-decent performance. The main reason why he was taken off is because I agree with certain tweets being made. He's too hot-headed at times. That he was like diving into rash challenges where he was unneeded to, especially when he was even on a yellow. At times he got a bit too physical, which it was bold from Johnson to take him off, but it proved to be the right decision in the end. But I do like Winchester. I think over time he'll be a solid player for us.
Great. Well, while you're on there, Jacob, on the live chat, Liam Younger says congratulations on getting the Josh Kelly interview. It was class. So well done to you on that, Jacob. Well done. Colin Major on the chat says Hermes and Amazon are both crap. So there you go.
That's a DPD worker right there.
Who does his deliveries? I wonder.
Yeah.
He works for Yodel, didn't he?
Look, we've got 143 people on the stream at the moment. We've only got 60 likes. We've got about 10 minutes left, and we would like 100. We'll take an absolute second to just hit the like button, the thumbs up, just give it a click, and let's see if we can get that going up, get it up to 100. And don't forget, we are looking for subscribers as well to the channel. Right, so Michael Bowers, Carl Winchester, I know it's early days. Are you impressed, or you know, do you think he can grow into the role or what?
Can do, certainly. Lee, I mean, I know that it doesn't always mean it's going to work, but Lee Johnson hopefully will know how to get the best out of him. I think that Lee, you know, Carl Winchester, obviously, one thing I've noticed that he tries to keep the ball ticking over and actually progress and move forward, whereas obviously a lot of the criticism is that we play sideways and backwards. I agree with Jacob's point about Winchester on Tuesday, that he was taken off. And I think, Conrad, you might have said it in the live stream. I think that Ipswich players knew he was on a yellow card, so they were trying to hound him and trying to get him sent off.
Oh, easy. Yeah.
That's the case. Unlike certain managers, Phil Parkinson, Lee Johnson actually showed some proactive management to get him off and prevent a red card. So,
I'd cough that.
Oh, sorry, yeah, and I needed to clear my throat. But anyway, that was at least promising to see there. It's going to take him a while. It's going to take him a couple of games to sort of get used to his teammates, get used to the surroundings, get used to the way we're trying to play, I guess. I don't know how Forest Green was played, so but hopefully he does the business. But I don't think we'll see it for a couple of games yet, but you never know.
Right, fair dues. Casual observer, that brown uniform delivery firm is bugging. That'll be UPS, I think, won't it? Terry, what do you think of Carl Winchester so far?
I think I don't know what it is. I think on Tuesday night, he reminds me of a young Catamol with those challenges. So I hope he's not as hot-headed as Lee Catamol. I hope he ends up being as good as Lee Catamol, mind. But like they said, it's early days. It's new surroundings. It's new style of football. We serve meat. We don't just serve vegan food all the time as well. So he might be getting used to eating more meat, you know. So you never know. It's different surroundings, you know. The colours, we don't play in green. We play in red and white. So it might take a while for him to bed in. But it was a good decision by Lee Johnson taking him off before he got a red card because he was a bit hot-headed. And yeah, I mean, it's early days. I'm not going to criticise the bloke. He's just joined Sunderland. It's early days. He'll only improve. So we'll give him a good chance.
Yeah, I agree. Lee Johnson taking him off again a yellow because you know, the referee always tries to even it up in my eye once one's been taken off. Quickly, Terry, was you wanting back in there? Do you need
he did the same with Jack Diamond. When he got a yellow card, he took him off. So Lee Johnson's not afraid to do his decisions.
Yeah. Jacob, you're trying to get in there?
Yeah, it was just Terry mentioned Lee Catamol there. Lee, mate, if you're watching, ignore the haters. You did very well on your punditry on Tuesday, despite
Lee
Catamol.
You think Lee Catamol's tuned into this two-bit YouTube channel?
Did you not hear him? Every time he referred to Sunderland, he kept saying us and we. He loves us. Of course he's watching.
I don't care.
I love you, Lee.
I love the tweet though, saying you could play a drinking game watching his punditry every time he looks down at his notes, drink. But I thought he did very well. He came across well.
So wasn't that his first time doing punditry as well?
I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah,
it would have been one of his first times, if not his first time trying to be a pundit. So,
Conrad, what do you think, Carl Winchester?
I quite liked his movement when he was getting around. I noticed he was getting in and about each time we were getting sort of forward in the first half. Well, of course, in the first half he was off in the second, but he was always seemed to be involved. His passing left a lot to be desired, but that again we've said that for most of the players in the game so far. And yeah, it was just a clever thing to do because as soon as he put that one tackle in, about 5 or 6 Ipswich players around going, you know, try and send him off. And when you look at it, it was a yellow, but it wasn't nearly as bad as the Ipswich lads. So just safety, get him off and get him out of the way, because if he's getting riled up by them, you just take him out the fire and get someone else on.
And so do you think the criticism he's getting so far, I mean, I've seen people...
it's early days. Yeah, you've got to give him at least 10, 15 games before you can properly judge on how he's going to be. And I think the Ipswich game was the first time I'd properly watched him, but he'd only had like a half or little spells anyway before, and it was just nice to see him moving about. And it was, like Jacob said, a lovely little back heel to link up the play for our goal. So maybe a bit of flair. Maybe, you never know.
Jacob, was you trying to get in there? Was you just picking your nose?
Me hat about.
All right, that'll do. Dino, Carl Winchester.
Was it his third, fourth game now? And I still don't know what kind of midfielder he is. He looks the same as what we've got, in my opinion. He looks a bit more calmer on the ball, but I still haven't made my decision on him yet. I'm not going to criticise the bloke, not a chance, because like you say, it's early days. He hasn't really played a lot. I mean, his yellow card was his own fault. He took someone on, then the ball overran, and then he went in for the tackle. It wasn't a bad tackle. He just clipped him. Yellow card, fair enough. And obviously, Lee Johnson brings him off, which I think it's always a safe thing to do. Bring someone whoever's on a yellow card, bring them off, because I'd rather have them bring him off and we're not risk getting down to 10 men because he loses his head once or he goes in with another bad tackle. So yeah, it was the right thing to do to take him off. But right now with Winchester, I still can't exactly see what kind of midfielder he's going to be. So I need to give it a little bit more time, but I'm not going to criticise him, not yet.
Right, okay. Quickly on the chat, Mick S. I'm 73, supported Sunderland for over 65 years. Can we have a round of applause for that? Not for supporting Sunderland for 65 years, but actually being 73 and managing to work out how to get on YouTube. Well done, that man. I like that.
That's another round of applause.
You only need 11 likes. Come on.
Oh yeah, just all right. Come on, 11 likes to hit the 100, like we said. So if you're watching now, just hit the thumbs up. Let's get this to 100. 11 more people. Just hit that thumbs up, hit the like button, and let's get this to at least 100.
Go on, Terry.
Is that not copyright if you show us? That's copyright, Copyright.
I think we'll allow him. There you go.
Listen, thank you very much.
That's thumbs down, Terry.
Yeah, that's shocking. Also, Stu Shaw says, good show tonight. Miggy Stewart, well done, lads. I like your show. Could watch it all night. Thank you very much. For your support in that. So just very quickly, we've got a few minutes left. Saturday, we go to Gillingham. Does anybody know, first of all, does anybody know why it is a 1 o'clock kickoff?
We're at home, aren't we?
Yeah, we're at home.
We're at home.
Yeah.
Why did you say we go to Gillingham?
No, well, we go to Gillingham, then travel back home and play them at home
right,
as well.
Okay.
You're still travelling back from Ipswich now.
It must be something to do with
delivery.
I know the last time we played there, it was a 1 o'clock because they didn't want to put their floodlights on at night time. So this must be they don't want to run the buses in the dark or something like that, I guess.
Probably.
Anyway, it's a 1 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. Gillingham.
2 more likes. Come on.
We've still got how many? Oh, we've hit it. 101. There you go. We've still got half the season left, right? And you know, no, I'm not going to go down that. If we continue this run, we're going to win the league, which I think we are. But all I'm saying it's Gillingham on Saturday, right? I banged on about these 5 wins, the next 5 games, and Ipswich is going to be the dodgy one. 4 out of 5 is pretty good. All I want from you is a straightforward prediction. We are at home, and our home performance at the moment is not the home record's just not good. But I think it's time to turn the corner. So a straightforward prediction from you all for Saturday. I'm going to start with Terry, the mad mistake. What do you think for Saturday? Terry.
2-0.
2-0.
Sunderland.
Are you sure?
What are you laughing for? What are you laughing for?
I'm not laughing. I'm all
what are you
right.
laughing about? You think we're going to get beat? You do.
Yeah. How are you, man? Do you think I'm going to get beat? It's me you're talking to, man. I rule with my heart, not my head.
Are you laughing because I picked the same score as you? Is that what you're laughing about?
I'm going to change
your mind now.
I'm going to change it. Jacob, Saturday, Gillingham at home. What do you think?
Keep the faith. 2-1 to the lads.
2-1 to Sunderland. Michael Bowers?
Sunderland 2, Gillingham 1. Time to turn our home form around for the better.
2-1. I thought you was carrying on with the Michael. The last 2 games you've got us down to get beat, and
Right,
we've won.
keep in mind, Sunderland 0, Gillingham 1. Gillingham to go with all 3 points then.
No, that's not how it works.
No,
It is for me, Jacob.
I've got you
Just
down.
really not
I've got you down for 2-1. Conrad, what do you think?
I'd thought of that, Michael. So the last 2 games I've gone 1-1. So we're going 1-1 again for another 1-0 win.
1-1.
Take that.
Dino, how many are we going to get beat by?
We're going to win 1-0. I think. I don't think we're capable of scoring more than 1 goal at the minute for some reason.
No.
So I'm going to stay with 1-0 because we've kept a clean sheet in the last 2 and we've scored 1 goal in the last 3, haven't we? Because we've got to beat 2-1.
Gillingham on a pretty
1-0.
run of form as well, mine, so it's not going to be walk in the park either.
Well,
no walk in the park.
Against the Steve Evans dirty.
Then we've just won 4-1, so...
Well, exactly.
Yeah, but I think, and I did have 2-0 down the sim as Terry, but I've changed. I'm going to go for 3-0. I'm going to go for another clean sheet. I think our Peckers are up on this little.
Yours might be.
Yeah, well, on this
it would be if we win 3-0.
This little run we're on, I think it builds confidence. I think we've got to turn the corner with this home form. Quickly, Michael, go on. You can interrupt me.
Very quickly as well, it's a big opportunity on Saturday because Charlton and Portsmouth play each other at the Valley. So big opportunity to jump ahead of them, which we probably won't take because we're Sunderland.
Yeah, well, I think another clean sheet. I think 3 goals, hat trick, definitely Lee Birch. So we've all gone for a win apart from Conrad, who has gone 1-1, but the reasoning around
Tactical reasons.
So that just about wraps it up. I don't know what's happened to Terry. Has he gone for a number 2? Do you think? Is his mic still on? Are you still there, Terry?
Matthews.
Don't forget as well, Lincoln on Saturday. It's Lincoln Doncaster. That's 1st and 4th, I think, as well.
Well, Doncaster.
Yes, you are correct. It is.
Doncaster on a cracking run, but their bubbles.
Doncaster have played 2 games less than us.
Yeah. They're on a good run, and
Accrington have played like 23 games less than us.
Yeah, their bubble's got to burst anyway soon enough. Anyway, we're all confident. We've got scores coming in. People are confident on a Sunderland win. Everybody's going for a Sunderland win, and so hopefully by 3:00 on Saturday, we'll all be happy. I'll still be in my van or just finishing my round delivering, but I will watch it in the van best I can. We will have a live stream, so join us on the channel to watch that for some cracking commentary. Conrad, Michael, and Dino are going to be doing that for you. They'll keep you entertained if you tune in for that.
Dino will, if he can stay in time with the game.
Yes, if
otherwise he's sodding off again.
I will just have Jacob ready to jump in if Dino.
If for some reason you don't want to tune in to our channel, then of course the Mad Mistake will do a cracking commentary on his channel as well. I'm going to have to go, not because we're out of time, but my wife has in the chat said shepherd's pie, chips and gravy for you, Phil.
Lovely.
Oh, it's a lot of carbs.
But hey, when you get to my age. Right, listen, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, please like and subscribe. We're almost at 5,000. We're just spinging away. So if you've already subscribed, grab a hold of somebody who hasn't and make them subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. Do that as soon as you can and we'll be eternally grateful. We will be back Saturday with a live stream and the lads will be back on Sunday night for another edition of the Sunday Bunch. So from myself, Wee Philly, from Dino, from Jacob Dansaf, from the Mad Mistake, from Conrad Lee, and from Michael Bowers, we just want to say bye!
Where's your tash gone? It fell off.
Oh, man, away, man. See ya.
There it is. There it is.
There you go. Right, we'll see you. We'll all be back Sunday. We'll see you then.